Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and be the one to do our introduction today. I want to thank you all for being here and making the time to attend our presentation for you. So our presentation is about our shared service learning. We basically all did community service, and we all did different things, and we want to share our experiences with you and how that translated to us becoming better public speakers. Um, so we we all might consider the impact of volunteering and providing public service, but a lot of people usually don't ever experience that in their lives. And we all actually did it for this class, and we want to share our experiences with you. The organizations that we all volunteered at, and we want to tell you about some of the situations where we may have had to step outside of our comfort zones and rely on our public speaking skills a little more than we would in our average everyday lives. So I think the foundation of service learning, it combines meaningful community service with reflection and communication for educational growth, meaning that we all got to interact with a lot of different people, and we all view it as a good way to have increased our skill with public speaking and speaking in front of audiences, but not necessarily just audiences, speaking with a lot of individuals from perhaps different demographics than we may be used to. And I think that it was a great experience, and I'm excited for all of us to share our experiences with you. So the organizations that we served, I'll go ahead and let everyone say their own, but so I volunteered at the Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico. It's a group that addresses LGBTQ support and food insecurity, and they provide a public service to specifically people of that demographic, but not just that demographic. There were a lot of people. They were big on helping homeless people in general, and even though their message is specifically targeted towards people of the LGBTQ community, they help people of all demographics, and they don't turn anyone away for care and services. I'll go ahead and let whichever one of you wants to go ahead and start letting us know what all of your experience is, and then I'll take it from there.
Yeah, hello. My name is George Martinez. I volunteered at Food Gatherers here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. They're a local nonprofit food rescue program, and they run a community kitchen as well to help serve those who are in need. Serve them hot meals to go. They also do food delivery for those who aren't mobile. So food delivery is a part of their program. I did my entire service learning there, and I really learned a lot. I'll be excited to share my experience with you here coming up.
Hi, my name is Brad. I volunteered at Our Lady Church of Berlin. I learned how to experience and get out of my own comfort zone to talk to people and try to convert people to Christianity and how to get along with everybody.
Hey guys, my name is Daniel, and I did my service learning here in Santa Fe, New Mexico at Earth Care. I'll speak more about it when my slide comes up, but that's where I did my service learning hours.
Cool. Thank you all for sharing. So I'll go ahead and I'll start. So like I said, I volunteered at the Transgender Resource Center, and volunteering there was great. I had a great time. I met a lot of really cool people. I met a variety of people when interacting with the center visitors. Like I stated, a lot of the people who went to seek out resources there were obviously people of the LGBTQ community, but a lot of them weren't. And their mission of just helping homeless people in general, I thought was really admirable, and I think that they're a great organization. I think that this experience did give me more confidence when delivering information and being able to memorize info. So what I did for them mostly was they had bins of various supplies that they would gather from donations to redistribute to the center visitors. Sorry, and I had to, you know, interact with a lot of the staff members very frequently, at them asking me like, "Hey, do you know where this is? We know you're new here," but they were very busy a lot of the days, and I was able, I think, to provide them a lot of assistance in the small role that I took while I was there. And like I said, I interacted with a lot of different like a lot of different demographics of people, especially people of the homeless population. I know George. I know that you did something similar to where you worked, like you said, you worked at the food bank. I'm sure that you interacted with a lot of of the homeless community as well. And yeah, I think that that is a I think that helping homeless people is a great thing. I think we have a big homeless issue here in New Mexico. So I was very happy to be able to do that, and I'm excited to bring this experience into the future. I think I gained a lot of skill with their rushing around and having to keep track of a lot of information for them, even though it was a minor thing. I mean, we were just collecting. I was just trying to help them speed up the process because they were very busy. But I had a great time during my service learning. I think I learned a lot. I'll go ahead and pass it off to George. I believe you're next.
Yeah, so again, I chose to do my food service learning with food gatherers. I contributed there by sorting donations, assisting distribution, and supporting community members in need. I learned active listening involves giving someone your full attention, empathy, and understanding before responding. I also learned that empathy and respectful communication help volunteers connect deeply with those that they serve, and active engagement strengthens interpersonal skills and commitment to community service. For my first shift, I participated at the warehouse center for food sorting and packaging. I have some pictures here that you can see. I was working alongside a group of 9 other volunteers as we received food donations and sorted them. We worked in pairs of 2 in the refrigerator, and my partner was a fellow by the name of Kyle. He's pictured off there to the right. Together at our workstation, we sorted through food items like cartons of milk, products of cheese, vegetables, and fruit. Our responsibilities included separating foods based on variety, checking for expiration dates, and visually checking for signs of spoilage, anything like that. Among our responsibilities was also packaging out sorted items and getting them ready to continue on in the processing. It was a great team building exercise. We used a lot of verbal communication just to ensure that the food items were up to standard and could continue on in the distribution processing, especially when it came to the community kitchen, because they also cooked the food, some of the food that they were using and received from donations. For my next shifts, they were held at the community kitchen. I was responsible for food preparation and food servicing. I worked alongside many other volunteers as we portioned food into go containers to be delivered. I practiced calling out food orders and tickets to my teammates, and also practice active listening as orders were called out to my station as well. I took part in cutting food items like chicken into fillets to be cooked and labeling containers with expiration dates. I also served at the community kitchen for the food service itself. I worked alongside volunteers on the serving line as we greeted the guests as they came in and asked them which food items that they wanted on their plates. I practiced verbal communication here by greeting people who I had never met before. Most of the guests were homeless and included people from different ethnic backgrounds and of all ages. On one encounter, I remember serving a father and his young son. His son may have not been older than about 8 or 9. Once the two approached my station, I asked them if they wanted a salad and a fruit. The boy smiled and he said he would like an extra fruit. I actually gave him 2 apples. I was a little saddened by that, but I was glad to give him the apple. But I remember thinking, wow, this might be the only time that this kid is going to be eating today. Overall, my experience at Food Gatherers was a positive one. I practiced verbal communication by working with others to help prepare and serve food while listening to instructions and speaking with the guest I was serving. I met great people who mostly just wanted to volunteer their time to help those who were in need. I was actually surprised to learn that I was among the only person there to do service learning hours, and mostly everybody was there just volunteering their time just to help other people. I remember meeting a woman who told me that she volunteers there every day, 7 days a week since she graduated high school a few months ago. Now that really put things into perspective for me. But overall, I had a great time and I learned much about what goes into operating a food rescue program. Thank you. I'll go ahead and pass it off to Brad.
My name is Brad. I volunteered at Our Lady Berlin Religion Church. I learned how to communicate and guide people through certain stages in the registration in the Church of Berlin. The first part I stayed in was helping the front desk to register kids for their first Holy Communion and getting some of their kids or family members baptized. And I also learned how to listen and understand how to connect with people. I went to this Bible study group that I watched and learned them connect with their religion and what they believe in and try to connect all together. I remember this one lady that had a bad drug addiction, but she wanted to get closer to God, and so they read a book called the Chapter of the Chapel. I forgot the name, but yeah, I learned how to like personal growth and services through the entire thing and try to connect with people. I will pass it on to Daniel.
Hey, everybody. So I did my service learning at Earth Care here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. That picture I have there was my first time stepping up to speak. And it happened to be in front of the mayor here in Santa Fe and a few state council members and city council members. What Earth Care does is they bring all those people together. Everybody you see there in the background, they're all a part of the community here in Santa Fe. They host events for people to come and speak their mind and try to help the issues that are happening in Santa Fe, specifically homelessness, crime, and also, speeding and shootings and all that. So I stepped up to speak about homelessness that day. And we did host other events as well that I did attend. I didn't post pictures of them, but there was another town hall meeting. It was a big meeting about homelessness and what can we do to effectively help the situation. Because as Sean had mentioned as well, it is a big thing here in New Mexico. And it looks like in Michigan as well. There's homeless everywhere. And there's only one way to solve it. And it's when a community comes together. And that's what Earth Care does. They bring everybody together from the community to see what ways everybody can solve these issues and also what ways can they solve crime. And even immigration is one thing they talk about, and they speak about that with the city and this state. The person that took a picture of me, I wish they would have taken a picture of the city and state council up there and the mayor. because I mean they respond to your questions and they answer back and try to give you feedback and try to help you out and let you know where you can go to get resources so that way you can effectively help your community a lot better. But yeah, I mean that experience was that first time stepping up was nerve-wracking. I was a little bit shaky at the hands and I was nervous, but once I started speaking and I started communicating with the state and council members, I know I felt heard. It felt like they were listening, and it was. I mean, even after there was people that came up to me, and I spoke with other people that were there, and I mean, public speaking and doing that really helps you out and actually helps everybody be heard. And that was it for Earth Care. We all did our service learning, and I mean, for the majority, we helped our community in different ways. Brad helped his church, and then seems like me, George, and Sean all kind of did similar things in different ways with the homeless community. But yeah, we're all going to talk about our experiences, what we learned, what different things we learned from when we first started our service learning to where we are now after finishing our hours. I don't know if George wants to start it off now.
Yeah, so one thing I learned is touching back on showing empathy whenever you're practicing active listening. Specifically, when I was serving homeless people and asking them what kind of food items they wanted and hearing some of their stories. Some of them were very verbal with me. Some of them would just look down as if they had shame. But the ones who were verbal, would tell me little stories. Like one guy kind of made an offset joke. It was a bit of dry humor, but he asked me why this was the best meal in town. And when I asked him why, he said, well, because he didn't have to ask anybody for money just to buy it. So it's little things like that, just all. I found that a lot of the people that were verbal with me just really wanted somebody to hear them out, right? Because, they were a little less fortunate. They might have been down on their luck. For a lot of them, that was the only meal that they were eating that day. But yeah, showing empathy while active listening was something that I did learn. And I can hand it off to Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I went through the exact same thing. All of us, I think, had very similar experiences with what we were doing. And I mean, yeah, a lot of the time people just want someone to talk to. I didn't talk to a whole lot of people when I worked at the transgender, or when I volunteered at the Transgender Resource Center. A lot of the people who would go in there were seeking other resources than the part of the building that I was in. It was only a handful of times that someone would actually come into the room while I was organizing the bins, and they would look through the bins for different supplies that they could use. And I talked to a few individuals, and only from my talking to them, only one of them identified as actually being trans. I talked to at least two other people who both were just homeless, and one of them, he was an older gentleman. He shared with me that he had been out of work for maybe like the last half a decade or so. I think I remember from what he said. It was a while ago now, but we talked for a second there, and he was looking for a thermos, and I helped him find it. And he was in high spirits. He was a great guy. Everybody that I talked to who came through there was very much in a very unfortunate position in their life, and I think that I can definitely relate to what George is talking about, and showing sympathy through talking to people and having active sympathetic ear for anybody who just kind of might need somebody to talk to. You'll find a lot of people in this line of volunteering who are just having a bad day over and over again, and they want someone to speak to. And sometimes they might not, but I think that when somebody approaches you and they want to be lent a sympathetic ear, I think that this kind of work is a great way to if open yourself to that experience and to provide something back to the community, maybe even more than just the physical work you're doing, but also the emotional work that you put in to hearing people and their struggles and being there for them. And I'll go ahead and I'll pass it to you, Daniel. I think that since you also have some relevant experience.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep.
we all, heard other people's voices in public speaking. Public speaking is not only us talking out loud to everybody else, it's also about listening. And it seems like we all experienced that. Not only us three, but also Brad himself. He talked to different families, different people coming and seeking for help as well, or, looking to join a different community as well. And it's just about listening and feeling that sympathy, or even just listening to others and seeing what people can do as a community together. Like I said, at Earth Care, one thing I learned was that even though everybody has different points of view, everybody ends up in the same end goal. Everybody wants the same thing at the end. Because there was people that were, let's say, wanting to keep the homeless. There was people wanting to get rid of the homeless. There was people of different scenarios and different views. And it seems like they all wanted, at the end, when they all spoke to each other, they kind of understood each other and found the goal that they wanted to work towards. And everybody came in as a community. And if they didn't go up to speak and publicly speak, as myself, nobody would have been heard and nobody would have known what their views were. But I'll go ahead and pass it on to Brad. That way he can finish us off and then move on to the next slide after him.
Yeah. Continuing on with Daniel's this everybody's different point of view, but everyone's total goal. My time when I was in this in the public group meeting or Bible study, everybody was like sharing their experiences and why they gave themselves to God, and why sharing their different beliefs and different point of views on their point of view on God and all that, and just all of it connecting together and sharing their past and their experiences, and yeah, going on.
Well,
All
we
right.
do have a references sheet, which is going to show that the research does support our experiences. And our community reflection, if anybody would like to touch on that.
Yeah, so we all can reflect back from when we started. Like I said earlier, when we first started this public speaking, it was my first time speaking publicly in front of a city council and state council of people. And I'm pretty sure everybody had the same experience when they first did their public speaking, whether it was now with this service learning or it was a different scenario. We can all reflect back and see where we started to where we are now and how much it's changed us, and see how much of an effect. All right, so before the Zoom meeting crashed, we ran out of time on the last meeting, but this is our second recording. So in community reflection, I was saying, we all want to reflect. We all reflected back on when we started to where we are now, and we learned a lot through the experience of service learning. And it seems like everybody got a good experience, and everybody pretty much learned that listening is also a key thing to public speaking.
So in conclusion, effective communication is essential for building trust, understanding needs, and fostering collaboration in communities. Communication skills like public speaking and democratic discourse empower effective participation in civic initiatives. Service learning fosters confidence, empathy, and leadership through practical communication and real community services. And collaboration through dialogue and communication creates opportunities for meaningful social change and community impact, just like our service learning stories have provided.
Yeah, absolutely. So now that we're at the end of the presentation here, I think that we'll go ahead and take any questions if you guys have any questions for us, if you want to ask us individually or as a group.
Frankie.
Yeah.
If you guys made any mistakes while publicly speaking, what were they? And do you think you can fix them next time?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. If you, sorry, Brad, I saw you about to start. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yes, Frankie. What we've experienced taught us more how to better ourselves going on when doing more community service for the community, and just learning from our mistakes each time we do it.
Yeah, I think that I personally, I didn't have any large audiences that I was speaking to. I was mostly just speaking to individuals one-on-one. I don't think that I made any mistakes in the etiquette that I had when interacting with the patients who went in, and I think I mean I had a good interaction with everybody. No one seemed to be jarred by my presence as even being someone who was new there. Everybody there was, and anybody who came in, a lot of them are regulars, so they knew a lot of the people there, and they were also all very friendly and wanted to meet me because, I mean, a few of them at least wanted to meet me because they were very sociable and just we happened to cross paths.
Yeah, I don't feel like I made too many mistakes when I was speaking publicly with the homeless people that I was serving food to. However, one thing that I would change and that I would do a little better is, to be a little more participative in my communication with them, like asking them questions, right? So not just hearing them and practicing active listening, but also returning that with some questions or maybe some feedback of my own. That way, our conversations would seem a little more engaging.
Yeah, active engagement, definitely.
Yeah, one thing I improved on throughout the events I had gone to was just prepping myself with like writing down the questions, or I even asking the questions too that I was, or better, reflecting on the questions that they asked. So I mean, it's hard in those events too. I mean, it's hard to prepare for them because I mean they ask random questions too, or come back at you with different things. So I mean, I learned to try to just be on my feet and be ready.
Well, I think you learned a good skill here. I mean, we're all answering these questions right now. I mean, we're all doing public speaking right now. So I think that we all definitely learned a lot from this experience, and it did help us with our public speaking. And if we have anyone else have any questions before we wrap it up here?
I have one question. How do you guys felt like before doing any of the community service, and how do you guys felt after doing the community service?
Great question. I feel fulfilled, I'd say. I think it was a very fulfilling experience. And before I did it, I haven't done that kind of community service work before. So I really enjoyed it, and I plan on going back even after the class. So I'd say fulfilled. Beforehand, maybe not as much. But I think it was very fulfilling experience. I'm sure we all feel the same way.
Yeah, likewise, Sean. To be honest, when I first heard that we are going to have to do 15 hours of this, the first thing that came to my mind is I'm already busy enough as it is, right? But that was just me being honest with myself. But I am glad that I did it. I was able to see the impact that I had just by being there to help, just volunteering some time and meeting other great people who were doing the same thing. At the end of the day, I would go back, just like Sean said that he would go back. I would go back to volunteer my time, and any time really that I had, just because it is helping other people who actually need it. So, I did feel that it was a positive experience, and you're just gaining that practice and communication, to just being able to verbally speak to people, to strangers. I think that's a big part of public communication in general.
Yeah, like George said, once I heard those 15 hours, I was dreading it. I really was not looking forward to it. I was even considering dropping the class because I didn't want to do the 15 hours. But I mean, after doing them, from when I first started, I was nervous, and I've learned that. I mean, I'm going to be nervous for all public speaking, and as I go through it, I'm going to get more and more confident. And as I go through the public speaking, I mean, when you're up there talking, you're nervous at first, but once you say the first word, your nerves just go away, it seems like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Continuing on with what George and Daniel said. Yeah, at the beginning, I didn't really want to do it. I did feel like dropping this class, um, but I'm like, yeah, just might as well tough it through and just do it. Because me personally, I am a introvert. Half my life, I've been very social. So, uh, yeah, but and I felt great. It made me have a little bit more confidence talking to people, trying to connect people. Would I go back to doing it again? Yes. Try to build that like better feeling of talking to people a lot more.
Yeah, certainly. And I think, yeah, I think we all gained a lot from this. And yeah, like you guys said, I mean, I think we're all pretty busy people outside of this one, this one class. And I mean, the 15 hours was pretty, I mean, it definitely wasn't going to be easy to make the time for, but we all managed to. And it seems like we all had a great experience doing it, even though it may have been kind of stressful at first. And I think that this experience overall is, I mean, yeah, it's definitely something that I would go back to as well. And I think that I will. And going forward, I'll probably do some more hours in that kind of community service. So before we fully wrap it up here, if any of you guys have any feedback for us, like things that you thought we did well or could improve on, that would be really appreciated.
Yes, Frankie.
Uh,
I have some feedback, unless somebody else does first.
No, you're good. You can go ahead and yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so I think that y'all actually did pretty good. I just think that when y'all go through this, take a deep breath, take a second to rethink what you're going to say, and then say it. Because there was a lot of and not everybody's presentation, but in a lot of y'all's. But other than that, I think y'all did actually pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's
You're
definitely
welcome.
hard. It's definitely hard to keep your thoughts on track sometimes when you're presenting to people. Absolutely.
Because I've done a lot of presentations in front of people, so if you make like little bullet points and have them in front of you, you
Yeah.
can look at them and then you can see, hey, I have to mark off this bullet point, that bullet point, and go on from it. And then also, what I have done in the past is I have made a script and I've reread the script multiple times, and then I spoke so that I would remember at least somewhat what I'm going to say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're very
I
welcome.
think someone else had something.
Oh, it was me.
Yes,
I was
sir.
just going to say that I felt that you did, especially George, did a great job of humanizing the people that you were talking to and like talking about as like a person rather than like, you talked to a lot of homeless people and then you fed them and then you went home. You kind of made it more about you connected with the entire group and people as a person on person. And I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, George, you were very strong presenter.
I appreciate that feedback. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, anybody else? Looks like we're good. Okay, well, thank you all very much for attending. We really appreciate you all making the time to be here and help us out with this. And I think that you guys as well. This was I think that we all did really great on this project. I want to thank you all for your contributions to this. I think we worked really well as a team here, guys.
Yeah, and then
thank you everybody for being here.